knuckles in the hall, broken badge on my chest, I'm still standing tall. One more step and the room goes red. You want my name? Say it with your chest. Hands on the tank and the whole place shake. We don't bow low, we don't break. Still chair riot, still chair riot. You push on by. Still chair riot, still chair riot. We don't go quiet. Still chair riot. Trash on the floor, boots in the foam, old wounds wake up when I hear that tone. You talk too slick like you own this pain, but I know that look, I know that flame. One more step and the room goes red. You want my name? Say it with your chest. Hands on the chain and the whole place shake. We don't bow low, we don't bite. Still chair riot, still chair riot. You push everybody. Still chair riot, still chair riot. We don't go quiet. Still chair riot. Cold concrete, quick teeth in the dark. I lost my calm, but I kept the spark. Say my name now, watch it split the air. I came for the war, yeah, I came prepared. Still chair riot.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Steelchair, just for a bit of fun. Nothing too mad. The main content is tomorrow, so we're just gonna have a bit of fun tonight. Tomorrow, me, Josiah are back doing what we do best, and that is insulting wrestling companies, talking about what we fell in love with, which is pro wrestling, and we're gonna prove why we are always correct. But tonight, it's just about having a blast. Yeah, we'll go with that. Tonight is just about having a blast. What's up, Larbark? How are you doing? Do get your comments in, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Come on, you guys know the score. I don't need to keep asking. Please do support the channel. Please do support us, because, again, we work hard. We want to make the most important but fun channel and content out there that I wouldn't say money can buy. Just your time can get. That's what we are. We just want you guys to have fun and participate. Doesn't have to be wrestling we talk about tonight. It could be virtually anything. I just want to have fun with all of you, because that's what it's all about. It's about having fun. Some content creators need to remember what that actually fucking means. And I don't need to name names, but education is important. And some need it, because some of them think you owe them a lot. An audience doesn't owe anyone anything. All they owe themselves is their own entertainment. If you're watching a content creator and you can't enjoy them, then jump off the stream. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get more fun. It's not going to get any more remotely interesting. And when a content creator tells you you need to start contributing as much just to get the best out of them, then you turn off. Because that's not how it goes. It's all about enjoying what you get out of it. So when I started this nearly 6 years ago altogether, when I started streaming 6 years ago, The most important thing for me was just enjoying it. There was nothing else. There was no other motivation. There was no other reason. I've consistently said since day one, I just want to have fun when I do this. Yes, I'm going to teach people what it means to actually do this properly. I'm going to teach people how to actually enjoy themselves when streaming, but I'm also going to do what I do best. I include people. Dan, Carl, Chester, welcome in. Are there bigger channels than us? Absolutely. Are they better than us? Definitely not. I'm actually going to go on a limb. I'm actually going to say it right now, and I'm going to be that much of an egotistical narcissist. Let me finish this first. I don't think, I'm going to be that honest. I don't think there is a channel on YouTube that does any of the content we do that is out and out better than us. That's not me saying we're the best out there. I'm just saying there isn't one better than us, period. There's not a better host than what we have. There isn't a better collaboration of people than what we've got. And there isn't a range of involvement with pro wrestling than what we have. And also, if you think about it, we don't demand from anyone except ourselves. We demand ourselves to be better because then that means you get the best from us. Do the other channels have more clout and more knowledge in terms of who to speak to than we do? Absolutely. Do they actually have better content though? No. What culture isn't better than us? Wrestle Talk isn't better than us. Ringside News, sure as hell, is not better than us. Maybe you could say Wrestle Purists are better than us, but to be fair, Wrestle Purists, even their best guys fucked off and did their own shit. No DQ as well, yeah. None of them are actually better. If anything, you actually go look at them. Some of them are outright boring. I used to watch Wrestle Purists. There's a lot of good guys on there. But then they brought in somebody who religiously writes. And I don't mean religiously as in they're a preacher. I mean like they write a lot. They get interviews. But as you write lyrics to a song, this person is incredibly boring to listen to. There's a hint. You look at the other big ones out there. You know who else is definitely not better than us? The Wrestling Observer YouTube channel. God almighty. That donkey from the worst city in New York is not better than us. Rene Dupree and all his morons are not better than us. Vince Russo isn't better than us, although he is better at getting. He is better at bringing good music on his show. I'll give him that. But that's because he uses Twitch only for that. Coachman ain't better. There's a lot of channels that are on our level because they're similar in terms of who we are. But I don't think anyone is actually better than us. People claim they're number one all the time. We don't claim it. We don't say it either. We just know there isn't anyone better than us. Because they aren't. They might get all the views, but they're really enjoying it. And if you want to know someone who definitely is not better than us, is somebody who begs his little idol Solo Monster, who is fucking awful now as well. If you have to go into a channel and send a super chat begging someone to collaborate with you, that means you're not good either. Aaron loves crack. Yep. Frightful, absolutely not better than us either. Oh yeah, it was a massacre. It was a massacre, and not a good one. Not like Texas. Oops. This is different. So I'm not being cocky with what I'm saying. I'm just being honest about the channel. I'm defending the channel's honor right now when I say that there is nothing that comes close to us. The only thing that does come close to us is a couple of channels that we associate ourselves with. But that's because those are good people. So, of course, we're going to praise good people. Come on. Definitely going to fucking need this. Oh, the Misfits couldn't wrestle anyway. Like, they couldn't wrestle for toffee. It was horrible. It might not be a subscripted fan, but it certainly is my only fan that will keep me nice and relaxed. Although it might be a bit loud. Oh, needed. It's going to be a bit loud on the mic, but at the moment, I really don't care. Like, I am roasting. That heat wave is still not gone, and it's pathetic. Oh, Stormguards our Hearts are losing in their Champions League qualifier. Oh, it's only the first leg, but they conceded after 4 minutes, so that's a joy. Oh, that is such nice and cold. Like my soul. There we go. But yeah, so guys, questions, fun topics, anything you've got in mind, drop them in. What would you guys like to do tonight? Maybe give it a wee break. Come back to it later. Oh. That can be tomorrow's problem. Oh, absolutely. Of course they will. They have to believe. Oh, I forgot someone. I completely forgot someone who is an absolute horrible content creator. That fucking, well, actually, two of them, Denise Salcedo and fucking Wheezy. Like, no surprise she got kicked out of Toy Story. That's too much. Two more that fucking suck at content creating. Oh, don't worry. I'll expect Maria to cry again. You look at every part of content we do, from gaming to interactive content. We are top of the food chain. Not just for male content creators either, female. Like, you look at our batch, no one comes close to Katherine, Nikki, and Eilidh, who I'm hoping will be back soon. I'm hoping she'll be back soon. She's got a lot on, so. But she's still part of us. Fucking hell, Livingston are winning 4-0. Where's Livingston getting all these goals for? My hometown team have scored 4 goals in 24 minutes, one of them being a trialist. What the fuck? 79% possession, 6 shots, 5 on target. Jesus. What system are they playing? Oh, Livingston are playing a 4-3-3 with 2 trialists. Oh, that is fair play. But yeah, I don't think anyone can get away with lying now when people try to say who and what company is better. You have to physically put your bias aside and just admit the truth. Like the most obvious truth. Oh yeah, behind the scenes, we're second to none. What was the first WWE game you ever owned? First WWE game I ever owned. There you go. I never had the PS1 when the PS1 was out. I only got a PS1 like years later, so I never had No Mercy and SmackDown 2. My friend did, so those were like the first games I played, but Just Bring It is the first one I ever had. Oh yeah, it is. What's up, Tina? SmackDown 2 is incredible. And it's part of the reason why I'm creating that classic gaming podcast with James, because we are going to go back to good old-fashioned games. We're going to talk about them, might play some on the channel, and just have a blast. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. So like, that's something we're going to do as well. So we'll be doing all that in due course. Aye. So tonight we're just chatting. I mean, rightly so. Tajiri is still, to this day, the most underrated wrestler of all time. Ugh, I'm putting that fan back on. My only fan. To think that's where gaming has evolved from. Great times gaming from that period. Now it's taken it in a different stride. It's not like what it used to be gaming, but it's still fun. As you can tell, my fan is powerful. I still have that. I'm trying to find specific European football games. I'm trying to find the Manchester United game. I'm trying to re-find the David Beckham game, and I'm trying to re-find the Rangers game. There used to be specific games for certain clubs, and you could play as those clubs and do stories with them and careers, but you can't get them. The 2K games are fine to an extent, but they lack. It's not just charm. Like, they lack soul. Now you'd think that's weird. It's a game, but games have soul. Like, they have elements to them. That's why like EA FC games aren't as good as mid to late 2000s FIFA games or Pro Evolution Soccer. Like, you won't find as strong as that. Too polished. Yes, exactly. Dan, that's fucking crazy that you literally just searched what I'm looking for, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's the Manchester United Club Football one. I don't want the 2005 one, because that's not what it is. Because the Rangers ones... I actually have the Champions League game for 2004-2005. There's the Rangers one, yeah. Do I get it on the PS2 or do I get it on the Xbox? Because I've still got the original Xbox. I've still got some games for the GameCube that were insane for wrestling. I've got SmackDown. So I've got WrestleMania 18, and I've got this, which my beautiful bought for me. One of my favorite birthday presents. WrestleMania 19. Sure as hell didn't deserve that. Are there a topic on today's show? Nope, no topics today. It's purely the chat. It's up to you guys. Like, we're just gonna have fun and talk. Yeah, Americans are caring about it. Yeah, basketball's always been boring, so it doesn't bother me. Konami aren't as good as they used to be, that's for sure. Konami used to be great. You can't deny that. But they've dropped off. I used to own the Rangers one. I used to own the Man United one. And I had the Real Madrid one. But I don't know what happened to them. I had the David Beckham game. Don't know where it is. But I want to get it. I've got all the FIFA games from 2001 onwards. Konami don't take risks. Exactly. That's why they got swamped behind. I have got maybe... I think if I was to actually take out every single game I've got in a box, disc-wise, in this room, I would have to say 100. I would have to. Maybe 110, 120. And that stems across PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, GameCube, Switch, Xbox, all of that. I was really impressed with Spain. Honestly, I thought Spain, when we did the watch along, the thing about Spain, this is the thing is, I'm not a fan of older Spanish football because I don't like when you just do this. Yes, 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 yes. 750 times of passing the ball. But when you play the ball with passing, with precision and speed and direction, oh, it's so good. And I love the way it speeds up in that way. And it brings more joy to me in that way. So the version of Spain under De La Fuente, I like. Under Enrique, I like. Under the previous managers, did not like. I'm not a fan of constantly keeping the ball and wanting to just suffocate the fans into submission. I like drive, passion, power, direction, technical ability, but I like to see it at speed. That's why I admire the Germans more than anyone else. Is why I enjoy Italian football. Lamine Yamal did good. I might get in trouble for this. I don't think Yamal had a good final. That might sound harsh. I actually don't think Yamal played well. Football resonating now, it's all about highlights and clicks to attract the attention. Everything nowadays, it's you've got to get onto a TikTok or a compilation. That's what I hate about football fans right now is, oh, I've seen this footballer before. I know how good they are, but then their evidence is I've watched a 3-minute compilation. That's not seeing a footballer. No, I genuinely think Yamal was as good as Messi in the final. They didn't show up. I think I said it during the final. I thought Alex Baena was Spain's best player in the final. I still stand by it. I thought Alex Baena was fundamentally excellent. I am going to say this as well. Pa Kubarsi is a genuine disgrace. Now, you're going to think, come on, he got badly tackled. Yeah, but nobody asked him to try his best Jeff Hardy impression. Nobody asked for a Jeff Hardy impression. Yes, he got badly tackled, but he overdone it. Let's be real. He overdone that. That's why I laughed on Sunday night. That's why I laughed. Apparently, Japan-Mexico had the game of the year. No. They had great games throughout the tournament, but would you say game of the year? No, I don't think so. They served up enjoyment, that's for sure. But yeah, I think Yamal... I thought he was excellent in the semi-final, but the final, I was just like really disappointed with him. He was non-existent. And bear in mind, this kid is hyped up to be the next world's greatest player. If that's your idea of next world's greatest, then we are all fucked. It's why I think Rafinha is still Barcelona's best player. And I've said that for a long time. I like the two most trending things online was the World Cup and Streamer University. One is cool, the other's a disaster. Why? What happened to Streamer University? What's Streamer University? I've never heard of that. You have to understand that I'm old, so I'm not going to know what that is. Old, but not grey yet. Hearts are now losing 2-0. Oh, well, that's them done. It's good for them that it's the first leg, but the bad thing is Stormgrats are 2-0 up. They're not going to catch that. What's up, Abel? How you doing? Imagine all the worst influencers making their own college where everyone is doing TikTok live pranks with each other. God, that sounds awful. That actually sounds dreadful. Yeah, I'm just going to go through some of your comments. But yeah, no topics tonight, guys. Just, it's all about having fun. That's all it is. It's just about having fun tonight. Ask whatever you like. Discuss what you want. No phasal from me. Exactly. No, I'm alright. I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of knobheads. If I wanted to be around knobheads, I'd sign up for Fightful. And then tell them they suck. Reason why you're joining Fightful? I don't want to. I just want to tell you that you're absolutely crap. Bye. Fun and games. Or as I call it, Tuesday night. You saw the new WWE Unreal stuff. Yeah, I actually admire that question being brought up because that actually was on my... That was on an agenda. I think it's absolutely hilarious. In my 2 weeks annual leave, no wrestling for me. Oh, Abel, you've really made the most of it. I think it's quite funny about this whole Unreal that they've literally said that Braun Breaker was denied the Royal Rumble win because they didn't want to force him down. He didn't want to force. He didn't want to be forced on people by Triple H. That was the reason why he denied him the Royal Rumble, but that's why he chose Roman Reigns. Do you not see the hypocrisy in that stance? Triple bypass. Like, surely with your infinite wisdom that you claim to have, surely you'll know that by not giving the people Braun Breaker as the Royal Rumble winner, because you don't want to force him on people, but you give it to the one person besides Jey Uso that's been forced down everyone's faces for over a decade. Yikes. Theory is purposely bad so then WWE can retroactively blame TKO for the bad decisions when they're sold. They can try, it's not going to work because people are seeing them for what they are. And I've said it time and time again, and I'll continue to say it over and over again. If you or anyone else want to just blame TKO for everything wrong with WWE, then you really are the definition of a Fightful fan. Boring, annoying, and stupid. You can blame them for having certain activities behind the scenes. Absolutely. You cannot blame them for having an awful television product. You cannot blame them for having an awful pay-per-view product. And you absolutely cannot blame them for the talent that they actually are releasing. Yes, they get told you have to cut talent, but they don't tell them who to cut. That comes down to one man, and his veins are more noticeable than mine. I blame TKO and Roman Reigns. Leave it to Abel to bring in another super chat about Roman Reigns. At least the man is consistent. I'll give him that. But in retrospect, you really have to look at it from an element of respect. Both organizations are as bad as each other, but one company determines their own future, and they are selling at death row. Oh, everyone blames Billy. Don't worry. When Triple Dickhead said fans was upset about the booking of Cena losing to Gunther, which he booked, by the way, and then go to lie, he didn't book it, of course it. Absolutely. So what's the line for blaming TKO for a decision versus blaming the WWE creative? End of the day, TKO don't know what they're doing in this business. They don't. They just dump money into it. They will definitely get decisions wrong, but that's because they don't know what they're doing. WWE claim to be the industry standard. They claim to be number one. Therefore, they should have the best hired workers, the best hired individuals. Therefore, there is no excuse from a creative aspect in WWE to get something wrong. There's absolutely no excuse. But people are going to constantly move the goalposts because they can't afford to do it any other way. Look what I've said before about when I did that semi rant on creative in a company. When things go right in AEW, you praise the booker Tony Khan. When things go wrong, you blame the booker Tony Khan, who's also the owner. When things go wrong in TNA, you blame Cut Close and you blame the likes of Dream. Well, you can't blame Dreamer anymore; he's gone. But you blame the likes of Delirious, etc. In New Japan, when things go right, you praise Gedo. When things go wrong, you blame Gedo. In Noah, it's Marufuji and Kennel. In AAA, the likes of Rey Mysterio, Undertaker, Jeremy Borash, and Conan. NXT, it's HB Pervert. They all have things to learn from. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, it goes the same thing. Good or bad, it's Scott D'Amore. It's not TKO. As much as people want it to be, it's not. TKO did not hire Def Rebel. TKO doesn't keep Def Rebel on the books. WWE do. But people love to blame that on TKO. TKO don't write shows. Triple Prick does. And he can't write shite from Sugar. And judging by how he looks, it probably tastes the same. You're welcome. And if that doesn't get any laughs in the chat for that, I'm going to be upset. Don't be fooled by what one company produces just to try and be the best. If they want to be the best, they have to act it and show it. But I'll be honest with you, and here's another true fact. As bad as WWE has been recently, the last two Dynamites haven't been good either. Like, I've really struggled with the last two Dynamites. They've actually done well in terms of ratings. The ratings have went up. But I actually think the shows were not as good as I thought. Oh, they'll continue to blame TKO for that as well. It's funny. They are they are the essence of their own demise, my friend. This is a good way to sum up a WWE fan, right? Just a pure WWE fan, no other promotion. Well, main roster WWE. We'll go with just main roster WWE. They don't watch NXT because they don't care about that. They don't watch Triple A because they don't know what Mexican wrestling is and Lucha Libre and all that. They don't like any other wrestler except bloody Roman Reigns and his stupid family because they're all brainwashed like virgins. So let's make it this way. Pure WWE fans are like going on holiday and you ask where you want to go and they all say we want to go to Disneyland because they hear it's good, and then you get to Disneyland and then they go, oh, this isn't it. Can we go to Lapland instead? And it's just the same. They cannot make their mind up. They cannot stick to enjoyment. And instead you end up in a trailer park outside Georgia. In professional wrestling, which company would you like to see disappear completely? Honestly, see right now, for the harm and the damage they do to wrestling, you would honestly have to say WWE. Genuinely. And they can take Busted Open with them. Sorry, Busted Flaps. Because God almighty, Dave LaGreca is so fucking boring. Ray Charles singing Georgia to all fans. Yes. In fact, I've got a better way to describe WWE fans. This is going to make people in the group, in the chat laugh. Listen to this. Just main roster WWE fans is like watching Top Gear. You're getting all set for Clarkson, Hammond, and May, but you end up with you end up with a ginger guy from radio who can't do it. You end up with Matt LeBlanc, who is a good driver, but he really didn't suit the gig. and then you just get a bunch of people that don't work, and then you bring in Nigel McGuinness, who's even more boring on that show, and then you bring in Freddie Flintoff, and he crashes into the wilderness. Pardon the pun. And it doesn't capture the same feel. They are like that. They are the fallback to good stuff. TNA is close to dying anyway, so I don't need to worry about it. TNA kills themselves at least 4 or 5 times a month. And when that happens, I will be the only one left standing saying, I tried to help. I tried. But, well. They'll never learn. And I can't help them anymore. I genuinely can't help them anymore. I'm a fan of older TNA, not the current one. Cooling over the next 3 days. Oh, is temperatures coming down? Oh, it's meant to be 13 degrees tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and it'll be as high as 17 degrees at 10 o'clock. For fuck's sake. 20 degrees with rain at 1, then 21 to 22 with grey skies, then 22 to between 22 and 20 degrees up between 5 and 8, then 16 degrees at 9, grey skies, and 17 and as low as 16 degrees there. It's meant to rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all 16 degrees and high, and then sunny all day Thursday. Humidity 88% on Thursday. Fuck me, I'm screwed. 69% humidity tomorrow. 20% chance of precipitation. Air quality, shocking. It's going to be guaranteed. That's just my hometown. Also, I didn't realize how stupid Somerville is. He's basically just killed his career. Yeah, older is what I'm sticking to. For TNA anyway, I'm sticking to older and some things newer, but only new for one talent. That's it. Well, recent. Right. Anyway, let's have some fun. Drop some questions in, guys. Let me hear some. And then we'll crack on. But I'm going to just turn that for 2 seconds just because I am roasting. Drop some questions. I want to answer some. Even if it's trivia questions or you just want me to answer specific things, let's do it. Our own fault for giving Rashford a tie down. I know. Fuck him. So go on then. Ask me some stuff. I want to hear it. $1997. wrong button. Love them? No. Like them? Yes. Didn't love them. I did like them. I have issues with one of those bloody films. I have major issues with Doomsday. You cannot make a 3 hour 45 film with 60 characters in it and think it's going to stamp a 40. It's not going to work. I guarantee you it'll be overrated on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it'll be a good film, but they'll overrate it. It's so hard to introduce 60 characters in a film that will run 225 minutes. It's not easy. Spider-Man looks good. I'm just annoyed that the fucking moron has to get back into Zendaya's pants just to make the film work. He doesn't need them anymore. I said this at the end of the last film when we spoke about it, as well as a question on here. I don't like the fact that they're going to reverse her memory loss just so he can get back with her. That's crap. And if they don't make Ned the Hobgoblin, then just cancel Tom Holland from getting a 4th film. It has been confirmed, Abil. 3 hours, 45 minutes. It was literally confirmed a week ago. The runtime is 3 hours, 45 minutes, which doesn't bode well for Secret Wars. I think Marvel have gone ridiculously stupid. I actually think Marvel have made a mistake. I'm actually tempted when it comes out just to see if they even try to not make any longer. I might take a watch in and just time it, start to finish, like stopwatch, from dun 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 dun. Oh wait, no, they haven't got that anymore because they're not cool enough. Their crappy Disney like opening trailer, from that until the end credits, I would just time it. Oh, I'm looking forward to Dune 3. The problem I have with Doomsday is it's going to be far too long, and that's what will make it such a bad film. Yep, they should have done, but they haven't. They haven't, and they're going to get exactly what they deserve. And I think it's absolutely funny that I saw people saying, "How does Captain Hydra get to hold Mjolnir?" I'm like, Captain Hydra was actually still worthy of holding Mjolnir. Mjolnir was held by Captain Hydra in the comics. Oh dear Lord! They're like, oh maybe Doom. They're like, oh maybe Doom cast a spell on him. No, Captain Hydra legit was worthy. What's up, Xavier? It just makes me fucking laugh. These imbeciles that don't know what they're talking about. They're like donkeys. They're like donkeys thinking that they can fit in with horses. Fucking mules. Trivia question. Who won the tag titles at SummerSlam 1991? Also got to name the teams that fought. Let's see. Well, it wasn't the Hart Foundation because the Hart Foundation lost the tag team titles to the Nasty Boys. Nasty Boys were champions at SummerSlam. Just try to think of it. Just try to think of tag teams at the time. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Typhoon and Earthquake. I don't think they were tag team champions, were they? That would have been the Natural Disasters. Legion of Doom was a year later, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not going to say Legion of Doom / the Road Warriors. I don't think it was. I haven't watched SummerSlam 91 in a while, so I'm just trying to remember. Nasty Boys were the champions. Typhoon and Earthquake were a team because the year before it was Earthquake versus Hogan, but it was meant to be Earthquake versus Andre the Giant. But Andre couldn't do it. But Andre picked him to be his replacement. It wasn't Money Inc. because that was 1993 WrestleMania. They were champions. And it wasn't the Steiner brothers. It wasn't the Rougeau brothers. It wasn't the Mountie, etc. And that was actually the Mountie he was champion in 92, Intercontinental champion. Because I can't remember, it's wrong, but I'll just say the Natural Disasters. But I know it's wrong. I can't remember. I haven't watched SummerSlam 91 in like 4 years. It's not a spell though, regardless. Like Mahilner was actually deemed worthy to Captain Hydra. What superhero movie? And also, Reece, what is was the Pixar Disney everybody loved but you hated? Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4. I thought Legion of Doom was a year later. So I did say Legion of Doom, but I thought, okay. I thought Legion of Doom was a year later because SummerSlam 1992, they were champions. No, they weren't champions at SummerSlam 1992, I don't think. To be fair, I hadn't seen it well. There's only 2 matches on that card that actually matters to me. I hated Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4. I've watched them with my brothers. Toy Story 1 is cool. Toy Story 2 isn't too bad. Toy Story 3 can suck a dick. And Toy Story 4 is an absolute embarrassment. That's why Toy Story 5, I've heard the reviews on it. I don't intend on watching it. But that film is only good to prove the new generation are a bunch of fucking plebs. So if you are from the new generation, hold that. SummerSlam 1991 only has 2 matches that I actually care about. The first being Brett versus Perfect, and the other being Warrior actually, no, that's the wrong year. 1991. Actually, no. That's the only match that mattered. Brett versus Perfect. The rest can fuck off. Was it because of the storyline? No, I just thought storyline 3 altogether was just crap. It was not necessary. They should have stopped at 2. Just like Shrek the 3rd, Shrek the 4th. All of that sucks balls. Honestly, name me a film with a sequel, and I'll tell you when the mistake happened. Which wrestling match do you think is underrated, but people say it's overrated? Ooh. But people say it's overrated. It can be any genre. As long as it has a number of films in it. Like, I'm looking for films that are franchises. So, like, films that at least have 4 or 5 films in them. In terms of which match I think is underrated, but people say it's overrated. You know, funnily enough, I have seen people saying that. I have seen people that have said that Michaels versus Brett, the Iron Man match, is overrated. I don't. I think it's underrated. I think it's underrated for sheer endurance and wrestling quality. And I would say DDP versus Sting. I've seen people saying that's overrated, and I don't get how. DDP versus Sting is the only match that that happened twice on a Nitro that was for the world title, and it's the same man that won both times with the same style of finish. And I don't know how you can think that's overrated. I've seen people that have said that. I've seen people that have said AJ Styles versus Jeff Jarrett from Hard Justice is overrated. And I was like, are you mentally deficient? It's one of the best matches in TNA history. Yeah, they are. Okay, since Xavier actually understood the point, Iron Man should have stopped at Iron Man 3. Sorry, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3 sucked. Friday the 13th Part 2 is great, but I'm going to hurt a lot of people. And Dan knows what I'm about to say here. Dan knows exactly what I'm about to say here. Friday the 13th Part 2 is great, but Mrs. Voorhees was better than Jason. Thank you, sir. Harry Potter should have stopped in terms of films after The Prisoner of Azkaban. Goblet of Fire, which I'm going to offend my dad here because that's his favourite. Goblet of Fire onwards sucks. Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows 1 and 2. They all have strong stories, but as films, they sucked. The quality stopped after The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is no surprise because it's also the best film and the best book in the franchise. It should have ended at 2. It was horrific. I would have to say Order of the Phoenix or Half-Blood Prince because it was just really stupid. I'm glad I've never seen this. Oh, Bret Hart for me is the GOAT. I actually think Owen Hart versus Shawn Michaels is actually incredibly underrated. Did you know last week's episode of TNA on AMC was our most watched episode? Oh, really? Yet your fucking quality of product is fucking horseshit. I'm not fucking praising that. To be fair, Kurt Angle versus Ken Anderson inside the cage is actually quality. The ending with Andy passing his toys off to one of his neighbors and Woody saying "so long, partners" gets people emotional. Well, I suppose, but I get why you think it's emotional. I just think the films are terrible, man. Friday the 13th should have stopped after Jason Takes Manhattan. No, Friday the 13th should have stopped after part 3. Because you can't keep repeating, back from the dead, I'm going to kill someone. And then he's back in the water. I'm going to tell you a franchise that actually should never have stopped. And it sums up how perfect it was. Halloween. Halloween is the definition of perfect as a franchise. Star Wars should never have had the Disney trilogy. Scream should have stopped after Scream. Scary Movie should have stopped after Scary Movie. Star Trek was good. Star Trek's good. Terminator should have stopped after Terminator 2 because literally no film in that entire franchise comes close to Judgment Day. Not even the first one, Terminator, which is actually a great film. It's up there for me as the best sequels ever. Like, for me, it's in the top 3 best sequels of all time. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. RoboCop was good. RoboCop 2 was okay. Terminator 1 was good. Terminator 2 was incredible. Fast and the Furious should have stopped after the third one. The original continuity. That's a good question, Xavier. What movie would you say from 1994? Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, or Lion King? Jaws should have been stopped after part 2. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm going to offend a lot of people here with this question. I'm only saving the one that actually mattered as a film, and that's Shawshank. But in terms of films, though, in order, these 4 films, the best film is Shawshank. The worst, I'm going to shock people, isn't Lion King. I like those kind of questions. Please feel free to ask me more like that. Batman after Dark Knight? No. To be honest, I actually think The Dark Knight Rises is actually incredibly underrated. The problem with the film is that trilogy actually got the wrong order in some elements. Batman Returns was brilliant. Superman should have stopped after Superman 2. Superman 3 was clunky, and Superman 4, A Quest for Peace was just dreadful. I actually think out of those 4 films, yes, Forrest Gump is the weakest out of the 4. It's a good film. I just think overall it's the weakest. The Matrix actually was fine. I actually liked all 3. Transformers should have stopped after the 3rd one. After that, they lost control. Pirates of the Caribbean, I would have stopped after the 3rd one. That franchise was just too confusing. The only good thing about that franchise is when they brought in Effie from Skins, because she had some of the funniest stuff. Spider-Man part. The Hobbit trilogy sucked. It's one of the worst trilogies I've ever seen. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 were perfect. Spider-Man 3, they just blew it. My hometown team are winning 7-0 now. Mission Impossible. Ugh. What do you say for Shrek? After Shrek 2, I do not care. The Exorcist is great. X-Men should have stopped after X-Men 2. Although Last Stand and Days of Future Past is better than X-Men 3. And it's not even close. But X2 was the best out of all of them, I think. I agree with this. It was rancid. I'm going to be dishonest. I've had better shits than Shrek 3. Hated that entire franchise. Horrible. Should have stopped after the third one. They didn't know what they were doing after that point. It's the most stupid franchise. Scream after Scream 1, pointless franchise. Genuinely horrific franchise, Scream. Honestly, I wouldn't even waste my time rewatching any of them. No, I just thought Shrek 3 as a whole just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. I would rather shoot myself. What are you doing here? Can't hear you. You silent witness.
I see we're ranting about movie franchises.
We are just having a blast, yeah. We're just having a blast. Okay, that's an interesting one. Jurassic Park. Overall good films, including the latest one, but that's because of Scarlett Johansson.
Mhm.
All right, that's a fun question from Tina. So Tina says this has been fun, but she's got to go. And in terms of amazing day, well, it's 21 minutes past 9. What's your all-time favorite WrestleMania that you would watch again? 13, 17, 13, 15, 17, and 19 are my favorites. But obviously, I would go back and watch 17 every single time. Mission Impossible, I'm not a fan of after the second one. Cars franchise is actually okay. Gremlins is good up until Gremlins 3. Godfather 1 and 2 is perfect. This is just a fun one. Our main stuff's tomorrow.
Mhm.
Hearts are getting absolutely pumped in the first leg of their Champions League qualifiers, 4-0.
Okay.
Although my hometown team are winning 7-0 in the cup game. The League Cup up here, like it's divided into league phases before you get to the knockout tournament. So my hometown team are winning 7-0, top of their group. I've said that's how the English League Cup should be. Do it in the summer instead of a pre-season. The Karate Kid was good up until the fourth one, and if anyone says it's because it's a woman, I will come for you. It's nothing to do with that. It's just simply the
Well,
fourth.
it's 8-0 now, apparently.
It is actually, yeah. They scored for the 8th time, which is mental.
Oh, that's a shame. Fenerbahce won their game.
Yeah.
I didn't know Talisca played there, though.
Yeah, he does. I've just seen literally someone say that Joachim Low was not good enough for the German role, that he didn't actually do anything tactically. I'm like, are you absolutely... He stayed in the job too long, but Jesus Christ, that's pathetic. The Hunger Games, for me, I enjoyed every single one of them. I hated the Hunger Games franchise. Honestly, I would have scrapped that. Fantastic Four was... After what they did to Galactus in the second one, like I've got no interest in at all. But they've redeemed them now. Horrible franchise. This is funny. That one's okay. Which movie would you say from 1985? Back to the Future, The Breakfast Club, The Goonies, or Rocky IV?
I'd probably save the Goonies, to be honest.
I like all four films, but I would have to go with Back to the Future. I just think as a film, it was just perfectly written. I think The Goonies is incredibly underrated, though.
Yeah.
This was too funny for its own good. Austin Powers. Save the Goonies, but you can only choose one, Abu. You can only choose one.
Well, we chose one each, so that's close enough.
Jennifer Lawrence can't act. That's why I hated that she got the role of Mystique. Because she was not convincing. She's the only letdown in Days of Future Past and X-Men First Class. Because she was second class. I don't want to see her act because she can't. She's like Arne Slot for an actor. She's got no purpose. There's one for you, mate. Apparently, he's also the favourite to get the Holland job. So his first game, if he gets the job, his first game, do you know who his first game would
Germany,
be?
Yeah.
Germany,
Germany.
September 21st.
That's hilarious.
I actually hope he gets a job just so Holland get pumped for double the purpose. It'd be absolutely perfect. You signed anybody yet? Never mind.
Apart from Victor Munoz and some, well, yeah, actually, we did. We signed the Japanese midfielder from Feyenoord.
Oh yeah, you did. Good point. She's like Liverpool's forward players.
That's a bit.
To be fair, I am going to defend one of them. I've said it so many times consistently. Liverpool actually have one very good striker, and that's Ekitike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rate anyone else in their attack, but I do rate Ekitike.
Well, Isak had a good World Cup.
Fuck him. Reece, I missed the FIFA halftime show, but your rant on Twitter was hilarious. To be fair, I think my rant on the watch along itself was far better.
I purposely left the house while that happened, so I didn't have to watch it.
That was the most boringly destructive 11 minutes of my life. I just tore that thing to shreds. I just couldn't help myself.
I just hope, like I've been saying this since the start, I just hope that they never go back there for a World Cup again.
They should just never go back in general.
Well, that also works.
If FIFA doesn't back team it, I don't think the World Cup will go back there for a long while. I don't like the fact now that it's now going to be set over 3 countries. Like the next one is Spain, Morocco, and Portugal. And I still cannot get over the bloody start of the whole halftime show with Madonna. That was absolute cringe. Like, that was more cringe than BTS. That was more cringe than the Muppets. It was more cringe than Bob Ag Bieber. Like, it was just horrible. But the only redeeming quality of that halftime show was Wayne Rooney tearing it to shreds.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I can't praise the woman that Dan's referring to because I heard something interesting about her recently that's actually quite concerning. That's why I can't praise it. As you can see, my co-host has vanished like Space Mountain. That's an interesting surprise. Doing all right, Ta.
Pretty good, yeah.
Hope the same, but of course, everything can be difficult and complicated. But yeah,
1 to 10 out of 10 as a footballer.
even yourself as a Liverpool fan, come on.
8.5.
I'll actually take that as fair. I'll take that. See if Josiah, not Josiah, see if Glenn makes me rate a fucking Liverpool player now, I swear to God.
Because you do have to take into account that you stayed playing way too long.
Yeah. Oh, we're already celebrating, don't worry.
Yeah.
Was on X and saw American politicians praising Trump at the trophy presentation and trying to big up as it was the best World Cup of all time.
Did you see him say that Spain dominated the match, but it was a close game? And I'm thinking, how does that even make sense?
Yeah, that. It doesn't.
And then he also said, when with the whole Balogun red card thing, he also said that he doesn't understand football, so he didn't know what a red card was.
Oh, I burst out laughing. Right, I gotta get this one out of here. What's this? Rate her fame. Why would I want to rate her fame? To be fair, she was one of my young crushes when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I loved Kristen Crook on Smallville. They should never got rid of her. In terms of fame, though, she's actually not as famous now as she was, say, 10, 15 years ago. I would have to say a 5. If you're talking about other things, then I'll rate her frame. Why am I getting asked this question? I'm not doing that. Save one movie from 1997, Men in Black, The Devil's Advocate, the worst film of all time, or The Fifth Element. Well, I'm sending Titanic to where it belongs. Hell, because it's the worst film ever produced. I'm saving The Devil's Advocate. It's actually one of the best fucking films you could ever see.
I'd probably save Men in Black because it's a classic.
Oh, Men in Black's good. Men in Black's good. Men in Black 2 was probably better. Men in Black 3 was dreadful.
Have you seen any of Unreal yet?
Yeah. It's I saw clips of it just to survive the depression, and it worked. Favorite Rocky movie? That's easy. Rocky 2. It's the only Rocky movie with genuine story in it. Like, story of genuine importance. Rocky 3 is literally, to be fair, I actually saw someone say this the other day and I burst out laughing because a lot of people end up just saying the same thing as a comment. Somebody was asked to describe the 6 Rocky films, like the main 5 and then Rocky Balboa. So they described it as Rocky is the underdog getting to the main stage and showing he can compete with the big man. Rocky 2 was the rematch with the deserved winner. Rocky 3 was how racism could be defeated in the ring. And I was like, that doesn't work like that because it just doesn't work. And then Rocky 4 was America trying to prove that they're better than everybody. And then Rocky 5 was failing to live up to standards. And then Rocky Balboa is just clinging on to straws. Reece Russell only question. Ruby Rod invented live streaming in The Fifth Element. True or false? No idea because I've never seen Fifth Element. Which movie would you say from 1982? Halloween 3, Season of the Witchblade, Rocky 3 or Star Trek 2? Oh, you bastard. Fucking hell, Chester, you bastard. So you got Season of the Witch, Blade Runner, Rocky 3, Star Trek 2, and Halloween 3. Fuck me, that's painful. I like Star Trek 2, but I'm gonna have to say Blade Runner. Blade Runner for me was just perfect. I don't like the remake. It edges Rafa Khan though. It edges it. Because Rafa Khan is incredible. No, don't apologize, Chester. It was difficult. That's what I like. I like difficult ones. I like difficult questions.
And we're going to talk about this a bit later, but what are your thoughts on the G1 show today?
Dreadful. Genuinely, I'm not agreeing with A Block. It's become exactly what we said it was going to be. It's becoming too predictable.
Yeah.
I can't take it. I genuinely can't take it at all. What I will say though is
because
great match for Sanada though. Still in the highlight of the day.
Yeah. Well, I'd say
of
Shingo and Bolton was a good match as well.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, in terms of like important results, Sanada beating Yota, but I will say like Yota Ice had a good match with Takeshita, but overall, like just really poor. All right, Glenn, why am I getting these questions? This is starting to become very personal now. Save one and one only. Jessica Alba from Sin City, Kristen Crook from Smallville, Kimberly Page, obviously the Nitro Girls, or Monica Dutton from Yellowstone. None of them even come close to Eva Green in 300, but there's a fact. For the sake of participation, I'll just say Jessica Alba from Sin City. But these questions are the reason why we cannot let day ones continue to be asked. Stop it. Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom, Karate Kid, or the Terminator? I'd have to go with the Terminator because I just thought it was a brilliant film overall, and I love really dark films. Karate Kid would be second, then it'd be Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters fourth. In terms of potentially making a save, it would have to be Terminator. Your club to win the treble or your country to win the World Cup? Silly question, but thought I'd ask.
Treble. Easy.
World Cup.
I mean, you've already seen the treble, so it makes sense.
I'm picking the World Cup just so England fans can shut up about it by saying that Scotland haven't won one. Because you can't argue at that point now. Yeah, it finished 8-0. Fucking crazy. Surely not. Fucking hell. Hannah Rapp, the female boxing champions, died now as well. What is going on with all He's mad deafs, man.
Yeah. Because I saw one of the, I don't know what film it is, but like an 18-year-old actress died in a like car crash or something like that.
Mm. I don't know why the Scottish support the team's England face. It's because we don't like the English media and we don't like a vast majority of the English fan base because they're just entitled little wankers who think they're up there with the greatest sporting countries. That's a fact. England aren't even in top 10 successful football nations. I actually think if you do a deep dive international football success, I don't think England are actually in the top 15, even the top 20. Because they've only got one trophy. And that's not a disrespect. It's just a fact. But I think in terms of quality, there is quality there. But England's problem is they don't play a midfielder that controls the ball in the middle of the park. Declan Rice can't do it, and he's actually incredibly overrated. And Elliot Anderson will never be that type of player. European Cup and the World Cup. What do you mean European in terms of like Champions League or the actual like Euros? If you mean the European Cup, I've seen that plenty of times. Save one for 2019. Joker, The Irishman, Avengers Endgame, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've seen all four of these films. They're all fantastic in different ways. Out of the four of them, the one I enjoyed the most is Joker. But the one I'm actually saving is The Irishman. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Honestly, that film spun me. Winning the G1 or main event WrestleMania, win the G1. There's nothing to get from main event WrestleMania. Oh, the plot twist was crazy, Xavier. It was like the whole shake-up of the whole film is insane. Oh, here we go. You know that chubby guy that I called out who claims that Obafemi is the best wrestler in the world?
Oh, yeah.
He said he can name certain amount of factions that are better than Evolution. So his first one was DX. Then he said NWO. Then he said the Four Horsemen. Then he said New Day. I'm waiting to see who else they say that are better than this. Waiting for it. Don't worry. Don't react yet until I get all the names. Let's see what else is next. The Shield has now been named. No, overrated. I don't think people realize that Evolution is actually the best faction WWE's ever had. And I don't like Evolution, but even I'm being honest. That takes a lot for me to say.
Be careful, you'll get people coming in here saying, what about the Bloodlines?
The last one they've said Bullet Club. So they've named 6 factions that are better than Evolution. Only one of them I would genuinely say is better, and that's Bullet Club.
I'd say the Four Horsemen as well, because that's what Evolution was based off.
Yeah, but the only problem with Four Horsemen is they kept chopping and changing it where it lost some continuity. And it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite factions. Actually, I'm surprised. Why did this fat tub of weed not say the fucking Heart Foundation? What a wanker. He never said Bloodline, though.
That's a plus.
He probably lost all his weight when he was trying to figure that one out. Which movie would you say from 1980? Airplane, The Shining, The Empire Strikes Back, or Ali? Fuck. Right, first of all, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie alongside Batman 89. But The Shining is my third favorite film. Number 4 is American Psycho. So I'm 100% saving Empire and The Shining at the same time. Would you call yourself a Japanese legend if you won the Triple Crown, GHC Heavyweight, and IWGP Heavyweight Champion? You would be the greatest if you won all of them. Simply, like, only the greatest gets that. Is that AI? Surely that's not serious. Someone's posted on an Instagram account. I'm going to name the account so you can find this, by the way. World BYT1. They put a video up a day ago saying that Trump orders officials to cut all trade with Spain.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I'm sorry, but how can you... Like, how?
Probably because Rodri told him to piss off at the trophy lift.
There's actually an account here. I don't know who this is. I need to find... What are you called? This person has said that Maxine and Fury are better than Liv and Dom. Why are we comparing this crap?
By the way, have you seen Vinicius Jr.'s new fake suit?
No.
He got his chin done.
Jesus Christ. Save one from 2016. Rogue One, La La Land, Captain America Civil War, or Hacksaw Ridge. I have seen La La Land 34 times. I like La La Land, which is probably going to shock a lot of people. Captain America Civil War is the best in the entire fucking Marvel franchise that they've made in terms of the variety of films with characters together. Rogue One is good for the Death Star destruction scene and Vader's one incredible destructive scene. Hacksaw Ridge, not so much. I'm going to save the first three and just let Hacksaw Ridge die. And yes, Kenny Omega winning... Fucking stupid phone. Yes, Kenny Omega winning the title was the correct decision. And that's it. It's official. Morgan Rogers is now officially a Chelsea player.
Nice.
It might be the most expensive sign of the summer, but that could end up being the sign of the summer. Depending on what else happens in the window, I am saying it now. Chelsea have actually done well there.
Also stops him going to Arsenal, which helps us.
Oh yeah, that's the best part. See, this summer, if you're an attacking player, don't go to Arsenal. If you're a defensive player, all costs, try and get to Arsenal as much as you can. Because that's what they're going to try and do next season. They're going to try and defend the league playing haramball, or whatever people call it. Now, I like defensively compact, built from the back football if you're defensively strong and you know how to play football. Arsenal ruined that for me. They ruined my love for defensive, orientated, controlled football. I don't think they're the favourites to win the league. I don't. But they'll probably be up there. Annoyingly. Ugh. Right. We'll go another 10 minutes, and then after that, I'm bailing out because I'm bloody boiling and I'm exhausted. And you and me are back on the Unbound tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Rodgers in a Man United shirt for sure. I do like Morgan Rodgers. Because then I would have put Cunha in the middle and Rodgers out wide. and that means that bum Rashford leaves.
Which doesn't look like it's going to happen now.
Nope, which annoys me the most. In terms of that position, like Rodgers is probably England's best. Save one from 2002, Ice Age, Star Wars Attack of the Clones, Blade 2, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Well, for the first time ever, I am not going to defend a Star Wars movie because Attack of the Clones, for me, is one of the weakest films. I'm going with The Two Towers because that's my favourite Lord of the Rings movie. Blade 2 is underrated.
I've seen that apparently loads of national teams want the FIFA president to not be re-elected.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Basically, everything after Halloween 4, pal, I'm getting rid of. But yeah, it's because he's got so much ties to Trump. Like he's being bought over. He shouldn't be there. He should lose his job. Because he gladly is rewarding Trump with all this stuff. And I'm like, how can you do all that? People love to have a go at Sepp Blatter for the money he gave to Platini and all that. But at least Sepp Blatter didn't make FIFA as bad as this.
That's very true.
He may not have been a great president, but he at least was very firm when he needed to be. Infantino is a bloody pussy.
Mm.
We need someone like serious to take over FIFA and get it dealt with. They should give the role to Arsene Wenger. Oh wait, never mind. But someone's got to step in and take the reins and actually improve the organization, because for such a non-profit organization, they really are
They seem to be
stealing
making
money.
a lot of money.
Exactly. But they claim to be a non-profit. You can't be a non-profit if you're doing that. Save one movie. Monsters, Inc., Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or Mulan Into the Spider-Verse.
I think this is obvious.
Into the Spider-Verse. That is one of the best animated films I've ever seen. Monsters, Inc., though, was good at its time, and Mulan isn't as bad as I've seen people say about it. It's not. But Into the Spider-Verse, despite the kamikaze crazy of flashing images which can cause problems, really good film. Finding Nemo, Sing, or Encanto, neither. I didn't like those films at all. Don't like them. Not my thing.
Oh, the Premier League is back in a month.
Mm-hmm. Yep, SPFL's back
Shame
in
the-
2 weeks.
Shame the first game we have to watch is Arsenal versus Coventry.
Well, one of them could be Arsenal versus Tomori.
Mm.
Coventry are trying to get him.
That would be an odd move.
To be fair, he can go. Milan have already practically replaced him with Gia anyway, and they're trying to get Gonçalo and Nazio anyway, so there's no way Tamora gets back into that defence anyway. They're still trying to get either Polina or Højbjerg, and they want another attacking midfielder just for experience in midfield. What was wrong with your question? What question? Favorite movie of 1983? Return of the Jedi.
I'm just watching a reel, and someone said that they want Danhausen to curse Cody Rhodes.
Not a bad idea. Did people really believe that he cursed Argentina? Come on. Like, did people really
brought into him they brought into him cursing the Knicks, uncursing the Knicks. So
Cars, Madagascar, or Bambi? I had a shot all three. You know what? I think out of the three, I think Cars is better. I'm back. Can Danhausen break my curse and make WWE great again? Lol.
no.
Question for Josiah. Pick one. A Snickers ice cream, White Magnum, Oreo cookie sandwich, or a 99 with flake and strawberry sauce. I mean, for me, it's a White Magnum, but
I
that's
mean,
my
I'd
favorite.
eat all of these, so this is a very difficult question.
I figured as much, you greedy bastard.
Yeah.
To be fair, the only one here I physically can't eat is option one. Like, I can't.
I mean, if I had to pick one, it's got to be a 99 with a flake and strawberry sauce.
I mean, it was rightly so. Just ordered another heatsink for my PS5 for GTA 6. Yeah, because you're going to need a lot more than that, mate. You're going to need a lot more than that. What's this? Yeah, that's Chelsea. It's Chelsea announcing.
Apparently, they want John Stones as well.
They do. And you know what? They should. Yeah. So on the day where Van Gerwen gets eliminated from the darts, Luke Littler's literally just went through on a 9-darter. Rogers' quick words in the press conference is, I'm just excited. Tell you what, though, Nottingham Forest, fair play to them, by the way. They're going to get one of these signs of the summer if they land Ousmane Diomande from Sporting. I meant Diomande. I think he's a quality centre, but that'd be a great signing for them. He'll win them a trophy.
What trophy? The Carabao Cup.
Anything he goes for, basically. I think you'll see Gibbs White get back to his best as well. Because he'll suit that. But I honestly, with Glasner and his back three, they're already suited. They will do really well. But the irony for me, though, is if he does win them a trophy, it'll be funny to see a Goldbridge reaction. Because he'll finally have to see if he can react. Get the beers out. Anthony Taylor's retired from refereeing. That is true, my friend. He has.
That's great.
Oh, you know what? We'll end it on this question. This will be the final question. Between the big gold WCW title, thank God you said WCW, the Winged Eagle WWF Championship belt, and the classic Intercontinental Championship sell by rent. Before we answer this, is it 1994 black strap or classic white strap? If it's white strap, then this is going to be the hardest one of them all.
Yeah.
If
I
you
mean,
say
if it's black strap, then I'm selling it.
yeah, because the white strap was the best one.
Yeah.
It looked nice on black strap, but the white made it so prestigious.
Mm.
Until Chester confirms, oh fuck.
In that case, I'm selling the Winged Eagle because it's the smallest one.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm buying the big gold. I'm renting the IC because actually, no, I'm going to buy the IC because the big gold will be more expensive, but it's just an absolute joy to have both anyway. And then I'll kill the owner just so I can keep it.
Mm.
And then I'm selling Winged Eagle because I prefer that one.
Okay.
I've always preferred Big Eagle to Winged Eagle. And in my opinion, Winged Eagle only look good on two belts, two people. Brett and Savage.
Oh, Savage.
Yeah, for me, Brett and Savage were the best two to hold Winged Eagle. I actually think the big gold actually, well, the watered down Big Eagle suited big gold suited Brett. Sorry, Jesus Christ, suited Sean more than Winged Eagle did.
Shame you only had it for a month though, because someone's ego can take not holding the belt sometimes.
And he said it was his own. I didn't want to be champion. I don't think The Rock actually suited Big Gold. I actually think Jericho suited it better than Rock did. Rock carried it well, but he never wore it well. Whereas Kurt wore it and carried it perfectly. Neither.
Why would he marry, kiss, or avoid any of them if he's also a Disney princess?
Yeah, that doesn't make any. Yeah, now he's trying to say prince. Nah, neither. I'm alright. None. Right, guys in the chat. One final question each. Make it difficult. Big Eagle holders for me would be Austin and Rock. I would have to still include Kurt. I actually liked when Kurt had the Big Eagle. It did suit him really well. I think Jericho carried it well when he was undisputed champion. But
that 1 hour that he held it.
Yeah. I think, that was a travesty.
It's also even more of a travesty the fact that it doesn't count as an official raid.
Mm-hmm. It's the same with Kurt. Kurt's NWA title run is still not being included as a title run, which sucks balls.
Neither is his IWGP title reign.
I know, that really bugs me.
Even though he defended the belt like 3 times.
Yeah, and they were all great matches.
Yeah.
Worst WWE belt ever for Reece and Josiah.
24/7.
Butterfly. The butterfly belt and the 24/7 is second, but yeah, butterfly belt. Actually, you know what? There's something far worse than that. The spinner belt.
Wait, actually, in that case, I'd say the US spinner belt then.
That was so horrible. God, that was horrible. It's probably the only thing JBL ever did well was have that thing blown up.
Yeah.
Too bad Cena wasn't in that bin. Can't say that out loud. Kane had the shortest title run, won it, and lost it. That is true. That is true. Actually, to be fair, not exactly. He didn't. If you actually look at it, in terms of title runs, in terms of that, same length as Mick Foley's final run as well. It was both one day.
Yeah.
Because he lost it on Raw as well. Because he had to be the good guy. Here's a question. Shall I post a new Grapplecast theme in the Discord? All right, go on then.
Yeah.
He did actually. He did hate it.
He wanted like a rated R version of the old IC title.
And that's what they should have done.
That's what he had in mind. But they were like, no, we have to keep some variants for sales and stuff like that.
It was so bad. You know what they should have done? They should have gave him like they should have went back to the old undisputed title belt design that they had, but made that like rated R through it as well. I think that would have been quite cool. They should never have got rid of that. I actually think that was the last great belt design, apart from the white IC that unfortunately Chode brought back. It wasn't like the original because it had the WWE logo on it.
Yeah.
Compared to the old
I
WWF logo.
I think that they should bring back the undisputed title belt design.
The O2 one.
Yeah.
Same.
Especially if you're so insistent on still calling it the undisputed title. Just.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Like at least make it look nice.
Considering the quality, it made sense. It was. All right, this will definitely be the last question because that's a tricky one. You get to go back in time and change one wrestling finish.
I know which one you're going to go for. And I think there's a glaringly obvious one.
There's two. WrestleMania 30.
Which match? The streak, I'm assuming.
Montreal.
Ooh. I'm surprised you didn't say Starrcade 97.
No. I was considering Starrcade. Starrcade was actually the next one in mind. The reason why I didn't say Starrcade is because, and I've explained it before, when I did a timeline of how I would have booked the whole thing, they still would have fucked up by not having Sting versus Brett or Brett versus Hogan for the title in 98 uncensored. They would have fucked up anyway. The reason why I said Montreal is because fuck Shawn Michaels.
You don't want him to win.
Yeah. He will always be in Brett's shadow. In my opinion, he will always be in Brett's shadow. He will never be as good as Brett in the ring. Ever. He should have dropped the belt to Taker. Here's the funny thing. You could have had him drop the belt already before that at one night only. Or you could have dropped the belt, I don't know, Bad Blood. You could have dropped the belt when they did the triple threat between Michaels, Brett, and Taker. When Taker did the double chokeslam for the first time. But no, you insist on just ruining the greatest wrestler they ever had. So, there you go. Morons.
Or alternatively, he could have dropped the belt to Austin.
Yeah, they could have done. That would not have been a problem either. But we need to do that one day. We need to do a what if show. Just talking about what ifs in wrestling. Like the chat can ask us like what if questions, and we just have to react on them and just see if we have a better idea.
There are many different scenarios that could be looked into.
All right, I'll give you one then. What if RVD had not been caught for driving whilst under the influence of marijuana in 2006?
You know, I think that he still would have lost the belt when he did, because they were so fixated on doing Edge versus Cena.
True, but he still had the ECW
But
title.
he would have kept that, and thank God it wouldn't be given to Big Show.
I think it would have been RVD versus CM Punk at Mania 23. I think they would have dragged an RVD title reign all the way through. He would have just beaten the New Blood all the way through.
And then
All right,
maybe
then.
Paul Heyman wouldn't have quit.
Yeah. And he might have actually treated it like a normal brand instead of adding in all the gimps like Carvon, and because he was never the same. And
Chavo
Shane
Guerrero.
Yeah, and Bobby Lashley would still have been a decent ECW competitor. And you would never have
Just
had
not the champions.
Exactly, you'd never have had Durag Vince. He should have won the fucking WB title, Great American Bash. I still stand down that. That was the pay-per-view that actually made my mum stop watching WWE regularly.
Fair enough.
My mum was watching wrestling for years, but she literally bounced off WWE after Great American Bash 07 because of Cena winning the title using the top rope FU as it was at the time. We watched other pay-per-views together, but she was like, I think she went a long time afterwards. Like, I watched Unforgiven, I watched No Mercy, Survivor Series, Armageddon.
Like, I watch the pay-per-views, but I'm not watching TV shows.
The last time she watched a full-on WWE pay-per-view that I can remember was WrestleMania 24.
Fair enough.
She didn't watch anything for years until they started watching AEW. So there's one for you. They were just randomly watching Dynamite on TV. This is the final question for you, mate, and then we're going to bolt. What if Sid... You should save that for an actual show we do, but we'll let you have it. What if Sid Vicious won the Royal Rumble after throwing out Hogan and then reacting to the crowd pop after tossing out Flair?
Well, this is obvious. He holds the title until Mania and then drops it back to Hogan.
And you don't get the match that everyone wanted.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm okay with because Hogan versus Flair was dreadful in WWE anyway.
Although, to be fair, you could argue that this maybe gives you the potential to have Flair versus Savage in the retirement match instead of Ultimate Warrior.
Mm-hmm. Although that match... But that was the year before, and that match was great. But then Savage came back out of retirement, so Warrior got another shot at him, and he still had the DQ finish, which is actually poor.
Yeah.
But that's the reality you're dealt with. That is still Warrior's best match for me, Mania 7. But Rick Rude,
to be fair, it's not hard. He didn't have many good ones.
He only had 4 good matches, both with Savage, both with Rick Rude.
Yeah.
That's it. Abel says taking us both there. Well, you're not going to like what we're about to say.
It's over.
We're actually wrapping up right now. Good to see you, Katherine. We are actually wrapping up now, though, because we've been live nearly 2 hours, 5 minutes, and we're... What if Hacksaw Jim Duggan was given a real push and not made into a joke character? He still wouldn't have achieved anything remotely interesting. Thank you, Chester.
Yeah, by the way, I've got a question. When is that SummerSlam predictions show?
The day off. So it'll be the...
Okay.
You're doing it on the Saturday, remember?
Okay, so August 1st.
Yes. August 1st, you and Katherine are doing the show. And Katherine can create it, so Katherine can set up for the 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just got home from seeing Odyssey. Decent. Katherine can have one question. That's okay. Katherine can have one question. If she asks us anything about Shota Umino, then pain. Is that going to be on the Grapplecast? Yes. Small power. small power, Catherine. Don't get ahead of yourself. Just remember, even though you create the stream, if it's a Grapplecast show, Josiah's still in charge.
Mhm.
Bellissimo.
But I will be a generous host.
Yeah, we all know that's a lie.
No, I will be, because we have to entice people to actually want to participate in these. I can't be.
That is very true. Today was genuinely not good, Catherine. It could have been a whole lot better. That fits in with what I got in mind for the intro. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Today's G1 show was horrible, but the one before that was
Yeah, the
brilliant.
one
because we
before it was
basically
definitely good.
hit the nail on the head with all the big matches.
Yeah, me and you were completely spot on. No surprise. No surprise.
But I'm surprised that they actually made the right decisions on that night.
Yeah, that was a shock. That was a shock. Anyway, guys, we are gonna bolt. Josiah is a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. I always
So am
try
I.
my best.
We both are. Just the difference is I hold people to a high standard. That's why two Muppets aren't here anymore. Because they can't handle it. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Join me and Josiah back for the real show tomorrow. This was just a fun one tonight. We are back tomorrow. Business as always. Unbound Grapplecast, which is our flagship show. And we are going to have fun because we have got a lot to discuss. So, see you tomorrow, kids. Have a good night.
Mm-hmm.
And today, our time comes to an end. This has been another exciting stream. Thank you very much for watching. And also, remember, if you get cracked over the head with a steel chair, you're not going to get concussion. You're just going to come back here. Goodbye.